Patrick McNeil joined now on Cape Breton Eagles social media by a very familiar face to Eagles fans. Eagles first round pick last year at Nicolas Ruccia. Nicolas, before we talk about the Eagles, it's Saint Jean Baptiste Day, June 24th in the province of Quebec, and the Montreal Canadiens have a chance to go to the Stanley Cup final. What's the energy like in the city of Montreal right now?
It's everywhere you go, you see Habs jersey. It's really amazing to see because I've been Habs fan since I can remember. So it's really cool for the Habs to finally have a chance to make it to the finals.
It's going to be something else. A lot of people excited here, but a lot of people in Cape Breton are rooting for the other side too because of Marc-Andre Fleury. So it should be a good game tonight at the Bell Center. As I talked to you, of course, 1 year ago, you were drafted by the Eagles. Can you believe that year has gone by already? What has it felt like?
Yeah, it's incredible how fast time flies, especially this year with COVID. Like you never know what during the season you never knew what was going to happen next. So then time would just fly by, and next thing you know, it's a year later.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Now, what was your reaction when you were drafted by the Eagles? Did you have any idea it was going to be Cape Breton that would pick you?
I had a good idea. Like I knew Cape was interested in me, but I at the draft, never nothing's ever sure. But it was it was really like a feeling. It's a complete different feeling than I've ever felt, and there's like no way to really describe it.
Now,
Just no words.
usually when we talk to a first round pick, we'd be talking about the experience of course, getting up on stage and all that good stuff. And unfortunately, you didn't have the opportunity to do that. And it'll be the same thing this year. How were you following the draft? Were you just watching the YouTube stream? What was the protocol at the Ruccia household for following the draft last year?
Yeah, last year at the time we were allowed 10 people in our backyards. So I had my close family come, my grandparents, um, and then my parents, and we set up a tent outside with an extension cord, broad TV, laptop. So we were watching on the TV, watching the draft go by, and it was really cool because it was outside. By the end, it was nighttime when I got drafted. So, and it started pouring, but at least we had the tent.
Yeah, those that remember last year, that first round took a lot longer than we thought it was going to. Now, you said it was raining. Was it at least warm outside?
Yeah, it was really warm outside, and the second I got drafted, it just started a downpour. Then it started
Well,
to get a bit cold.
we'll take that as a good sign for whatever it's worth. I couldn't tell you what the weather was like in Sydney. We were insulated in the Eagles office, no windows there, so I have no idea what it looked like. Now, what are your memories of talking to Eagles staff on that night? Because I know obviously we did an interview for social media. I'm sure you were in contact with Jacques Carrier as well.
Yeah, after I got drafted, I got a call from Jake Cully, because Cully and our assistant coach, and I was just so like I didn't know I still didn't really realize what happened. So everything they told me, I completely forgot. The only thing I remember was like to reach out to them if I ever needed help, and so that's pretty much how it went after the draft.
Now, I'm sure you know people that are draft eligible, former teammates, friends, family members, maybe even that are eligible for this draft. Any advice for the prospects that are watching the draft tomorrow and Saturday? What's the best way for them to follow along, and what should they be feeling heading into draft weekend?
There's really no reason to be nervous. That I learned, and that like no matter where you get drafted, it really doesn't matter. That's the thing with the Q. It's how you perform that matters. Your draft pick really doesn't matter at all.
Yeah, it's interesting you'd say that. Jacques Carrier was very much talking about that when we had him on Tuesday. Now, of course, we talk about the online experience being a little bit different. Did you get a chance to compare notes with some of your Eagles teammates as to your draft experience versus theirs? Of course, you had rookies that went through the same thing as you, but as opposed to, say, Jeremy Langlois or someone else that was picked in the first round?
Not too much, but I everyone who told me that they went to a draft said it was super fun. Even I had like some of my coaches in like Pee Wee, they had told me that they went to the draft even though they weren't getting drafted, but it was just to see like their friends get drafted. And everyone who's been has said that it's the one of the best experiences of their life.
Well, I know there are some concerns about cost, so we'll see if the Q ever goes back to an in-person draft. That may not happen. Of course, the OHL and the WHL do it that way permanently, so we'll see how that plays out. Now, as I mentioned, you were not the only Eagles rookie on the team last year. Lucas Canning, S.J. Buteau, Davis Cooper were all drafted last year, plus some other rookies that were in the mix as well. How much did it help your adjustment that there were other players that were in their first year adjusting to the QMJHL at the same time as you were?
Yeah, it really helped because we had a big bond of rookies, and we had really good veterans. with Sean Elliman, Jared Baker, and Nicolas Rose, Felix Party. They were really good veterans, and it, I think this year we had 9 new players, so that kept it was a weird balance in the locker room because everyone, like most of the team, was new, but it was really cool, and they created a good bond, and all those new guys are all young, so we're gonna be together for a few more years. So.
Yeah, and quick change is the nature of junior hockey, because we see on Wednesday you already have 3 new teammates coming in, and that's not even including the guys that are going to get drafted on Friday and Saturday. Now, of course, it was a bit of a strange year after the draft just because of the scheduling and whatnot. I know you've probably had the chance to look at the schedule for next year. What is Nicolas Ruccia most looking forward to in a normal Q season that he didn't get to experience last year?
Well, right away on our home schedule, I think our 4th home game is against Shawinigan. So that means we're gonna have we're gonna be able to go down to Quebec and get to come down here. So it's gonna be really fun to finally come back home during the season, not go 4 months without going back home. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that and playing some of my old teammates this year. Nobody was really drafted in the Maritimes, so they're all in Quebec, and that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I certainly thought that was kind of a big story of last year, where the difficulty for the Quebec born players not getting to get home, and same thing for Maritimers that were playing on the Quebec teams as well. But it was all part and parcel of getting a season going, which was good. Now, of course, we're in the off season now. What is your off season training looking like these days? As we're still a few months away from the season.
Right now, I'm training. I have less time on the ice and more time in the gym. But this year, with my trainer, we're really focusing on getting my body in shape. Not overtraining my body, really having it as a perfect machine, and no injuries or weaknesses in my body, imbalances. So that's pretty much what I'm doing for now.
Yeah, it's crazy. The off ice part of the game has certainly become almost as important as on the ice over the years. The last one I wanted to ask you, Nicholas, is Remy de La Fontaine was acquired by the Eagles during the trade window, and of course William Gamar is a potential 20-year-old. So a competitive training camp coming up. A lot of pressure maybe, but how much are you looking forward to that?
I'm excited. Whoever I end up being with next season, it's going to be a fun season. I played Team Quebec with Remy, and he's a really nice guy. So I'm excited to work with him. And then we spent the last season together. So no matter what, it's a good scenario.
And obviously a special relationship there we often see with a veteran and a younger goalie. And that's always key part of any goaltender's development. Well, Nicholas, we appreciate you taking some time to join us here. Enjoy the game tonight and have a good rest of the summer.
Thank you very much.
That's Eagles goaltender Nicolas Ruccia, the Eagles first round pick last year.